Good morning, students. Hope you are fine at home, studying and seeing the videos regularly. So students, we have completed with a civics chapter, that is lesson number 15, government, and a history chapter, that is lesson number 2, journey of primitive man towards real life. Now we will come to the next chapter of geography, that is lesson number 10, spheres of the earth. Now students, already we have studied in the 9th chapter of geography about the earth. Earth is a planet amongst the 8 planets in the solar system, and we live on this planet earth. So for us it is a home. So let's study something about the earth, that is the spheres of the earth. Now in the whole solar system, we already know, students, that our earth is the only planet which is a unique one. So it is the only planet which has favorable temperature, life, water, everything. So it's very unique. Why? Because it has favorable temperature, it has life on it, then it has water in it, and it is a valuable gift. Okay, earth is a valuable gift, especially to humankind and all living creatures. All living creatures exist on this earth. So it is still not evident, actually there is no proof actually whether water and oxygen are available in other planets in sufficient amounts. Okay, only for this planet, that is our earth, we can say with full guarantee that we have life on this planet, we have water, we have temperature, everything exists on this planet Earth. Now ordinarily we know that Earth is just a fireball, but at the time of its origin, this concept was at the time of its origin. So when we talk of the origin of Earth, that is the starting point, the formation of the Earth. When we start about the formation, you can see that Earth was a fireball. Originally, it was a fireball, a large ball made of fire. And this fireball slowly, gradually began to cool down. Slowly, that is gradually began to cool down. Now students, what happens? When a fireball is there existent, naturally the temperature will be too high, very hot. But gradually, when this fireball cools down, what will happen? Temperature will decrease. So, gradually the temperature decreased. And due to that, later on, transformed into different matters. Okay, it transformed into different matters. Which are those matters? First, liquid matter, then solid matter. So it's very easy to simplify. Liquid matter means what? Water. Solid matter means what? The land surface on which we are existing. And then the gaseous matter. That is which one, students? The air which we are breathing. So gas. So gaseous form. So three matters came into existence due to the cooling down of this fireball. That is the origin or the formation of Earth is conceptualized in this manner. That was very hot because it was a fireball. It cooled down slowly. It transformed gradually into three matters. The first one solid, then the first one solid, then the liquid, and then the gaseous form. So when we see it in normal common language, if you see it, what is it? Liquid, gaseous, solid means water. Then you have gaseous air, that is atmosphere, and solid, the land part on which, the hard surface on which we are staying. Then you can take mountains, rocks and all that topic. So students, we have life on this planet Earth. Why? Because of all these concepts over here. And huge ditches on this sphere were formed. Huge ditches means what, students? Large pit type structure. Large pit type structure were also found on this. So students, large ditches were formed or large pits were formed and they were filled with water. Now what happens? We call this as oceans. Okay, we call these ditches as oceans. Okay, that is this matter, liquid matter, filled with water, we call as oceans. Thus, the exact form of Earth was created in this manner. This is the origin of the formation. Fireball, which is very hot, temperature is too high, it cools down gradually because of many factors. Then three matters, liquid, gaseous, solid, and we have the ditches or large pits in which water was filled, due to which what happens? Oceans were formed. So students, we will study about the different spheres of the earth. So students, we saw how the earth was created and then the exact form of the earth took its position or its form. Now we'll see the four main spheres of the earth. The earth is divided into four main spheres. We already saw in the previous chapter, lesson number 9, that your structure, shape of the earth has to be like a sphere. Okay, so just like an orange, okay, not like a ball. So here we have four main spheres of the earth. We'll study the first one, lithosphere. Then the second one is hydrosphere. The second one is hydrosphere. Third one is atmosphere. And the fourth one is biosphere. Okay, students? The earth is divided into four main spheres: lithosphere, hydrosphere, atmosphere, and biosphere. So today let's see about lithosphere. Now students, first you have to bifurcate this word lithosphere into two. Okay? How will bifurcate, students? The upper layer of the earth's surface is made of soil and solid matter. Okay? Due to which what happens? The substance or that structure remains very tough or very hard. Okay? So you bifurcate this word into two: litho and sphere. Okay? Litho. And the second one will be sphere. So what do you mean by this litho? Just as we saw now, the upper hard layer of the earth, the upper layer of which is very tough or hard, is known as litho. And then you have your sphere. What do you know? It's the structure of the earth, a spherical shape. We saw in the form of a globe, the replica of the earth in the previous chapter, 9th chapter, that is of geography. Okay? Then we have the different spheres. So let's see this sphere in detail. The first one is lithosphere, the upper layer that is very strong, very tough, on which we are living actually. Okay, that part. Sphere means a shape, just like an oval, just like an orange. Okay, so lithosphere means the structure, the part of earth on which, land on which we are living. Now students, as you already know, it is made of which type of matter? Hard or tough matter. So we can classify this as which matter? Solid. Okay, lithosphere is made of solid matter, and this solid matter comprises of rocks and many other solid materials. Okay, and due to which it is also known as rock sphere. Lithosphere is also known as rock sphere or the solid sphere. It means what? So it is also known as the rock sphere or the solid sphere. Any one name for lithosphere. Okay. So this matter, the solid matter, is the main focus in this lithosphere. Solid materials are present in large number. Now let's see the area and formation of this lithosphere. Let's see something about the area and formation. Now students, area means the space occupied. How much space is occupied? And formation, how it is formed. What all are comprised in that. Okay. The upper layer we saw is hard. So approximately, if we take approximate figures in this, okay? Approximately 64 to 100 kilometers thick layer. It has approximately 64 to 100 kilometers thickness. Okay. And then what happens? The light matters like aluminium and silica are mainly found in this layer. Okay, and this layer is thin in the deep sea. This layer is thin in the deep sea. So you have things like aluminium and silica. Two main things like aluminium and silica. These are found here. But in the deep sea when you go, both these things are found in a thin layer. Okay? So lithosphere consists of hard substances like rocks in which you have light metals like aluminium and silica. But in this you have a different concept, that is when you go deep into the sea, this becomes into a thin layer. Only on lithosphere you can find in large numbers, but if you go, when you go deep into the, you increase the depth and go inside the sea, this layer becomes very thin, and it occupies a lot of Earth's surface, that is at least 29% of Earth's surface. Now how can you say like that, students? See, that is, lithosphere is the place where human beings are existed, living creatures are existed. So we can say that at least 29% of the Earth's surface is covered by which sphere? Lithosphere. Okay. mountains, plateaus, plains, etc. All these things are seen on this part of land. Why? Because mountains, plateaus, plains are all hot things. So these are found on which sphere, students? Lithosphere. And when we go into the depth of lithosphere, the temperature increases gradually. What happens? The temperature begins to increase. Why? Because we're going deep down into the lithosphere, that is deep down into the earth. For example, those who go into the crust of the earth, the miners, to dig out minerals, they are going deep into the earth's surface. So that is an area where the temperature is very high. So we can say that deep inside the lithosphere, the temperature will be more than the temperature which is on the surface of the land. Whatever temperature we are experiencing now, that will be very less compared to the temperature inside the surface of the earth, that is lithosphere. Okay, so inside the lithosphere, the temperature is more than the outer surface of lithosphere. And then what happens here? It's written over here. On moving to the depth, the temperature is increasing. So internal rocks are melted due to this intensive heat and turn into semi-liquid form. So what happens? The rocks inside the surface of the earth, not the rocks which you can see on the surface. That is only you can see them. But the rocks which are inside the surface of the earth, they are not able to survive that much of temperature. So what happens, students? The rocks inside the surface of the earth, of the lithosphere, you can say, melt because of the intensive heat. They melt gradually. And then what happens? When this is melted, so you can see the matter changes from solid into semi-liquid type of matter. Okay. So what happens? The temperature, that is in the depth, generally per kilometer, 30 degrees Celsius temperature increases. How many degrees? 30 degrees Celsius. Okay. So we can say that these internal rocks are melted due to this intensive heat and turn into semi-liquid form. From solid, they turn into semi-liquid form. Rocks are solid matter. So when they are melting due to this high temperature, they are formed into not exactly liquid but semi-liquid form. Okay, or semi-liquid matter. And this is known as, this molten liquid is known as magma. What is it known as, students? Magma. So what is magma? Magma is a term used for volcanic eruption. Actually, the substance, the matter which is inside the surface of the lithosphere or the earth, which is converted into semi-liquid form due to the melting of solid form of a rock because of the high temperature, is known as magma. And when it bursts out of the earth, when this magma comes out of the lithosphere, it is known as lava. Okay, students, don't be confused. One is inside the lithosphere, inside the surface of the earth. Rocks are melted, that is semi-liquid molten form of rock. When it comes out of the earth's crust, it is known as lava. So volcanic eruption starts from here, reaches the surface of the earth, and it is converted. We call that term as lava. Okay. So it's a natural factor that when this magma is created inside the surface of the lithosphere, the upper portion is also experiencing what? Heat. Okay. The upper crust of the earth is also experiencing much heat. And then this is the reason why the upper rocks have the increase in temperature. Why? Because of the surface, from the bottom they are experiencing heat because of this magma. So the lithosphere has this concept as its main, temperature increase and decrease. Okay. Now the balance is maintained between two opposite forces like pressure and heat. That is why what happens? The earth's crust does not burst. Why? Because balance is maintained between which two factors? Pressure and heat. If they don't maintain balance, what happens? The earth's crust will break out, will burst. So balance is maintained between two opposite forces. Pressure comes out from inside the surface of the lithosphere because of the extensive heat, and due to this what happens? They are maintaining a proper balance. So the earth's crust does not break. See, we are living on this earth. Are we walking on any surface is broken or burst out? No. Why? Because a proper balance is maintained between these two opposite forces. Okay, students? And lithosphere has a very close relation with wildlife, vegetation, everything. All living organisms as well as non-living organisms exist on this lithosphere. Human beings, animals, insects, plants, everything. When creepers, marine life. Okay, whatever we are seeing, everything is on this lithosphere. So we can say that lithosphere, the hard crust of this earth, has every living organism. Okay, living or life is existent on lithosphere. Our home is also on lithosphere. For us, Earth planet is on lithosphere. So we can say that lithosphere is a source of living for all living creatures. And water, farming, industry, all these are also very closely related with lithosphere. Water, agriculture, farming, industries, whatever we can see to sustain life on this earth is found on this sphere. On which sphere, students? On lithosphere. Various crops are obtained through farming, due to which living creatures are eating and having their life. Then you can see various industries and other activities, economic activities are performed in the plain regions of the earth. So we can see that forests on mountainous regions are there. They are also indebted to lithosphere. Why? Because lithosphere is a sphere where you have the hard crust or the surface of the earth on which you can perform activities. So thus we can say that lithosphere is the pillar for which thing food to dwelling. From eating of our food to dwelling, that is living our life, and the base of our existence means lithosphere. We can say that the base of our existence is for all living organisms. The base of living is what? Lithosphere. Okay, students? So students, you have to change some spellings there. So come to page number 59 of your textbook, students. The second last paragraph of the textbook of page 59, it is about lithosphere. There are two lines about that, two individual lines. In that is why earth crust does not burst. In that line, write there earth's crust. Okay, you have to put it like this, students. Earth's crust. Apostrophe S has to be put there. Okay, earth's crust. Okay. After that, you change the spellings in this manner. Next paragraph. In that, the third line. Various crops are obtained through farming. There you will change the spelling to THROUGH. Okay. Then the last line of that same paragraph. Base of our existence means lithosphere. Existence spelling has to be changed. EXISTENCE. Okay, students. So these are the changes which have to be done in the spellings. So see to it that you see this topic clearly in the video. We saw about the formation of the earth, students. How the earth had its origin from a fireball into different matters and different spheres, and in which we saw four spheres: lithosphere, hydrosphere, atmosphere and biosphere. We saw the first sphere in detail, which is that lithosphere. It means what? The hard crust, the upper surface of the earth on which human beings and other living creatures exist, and non-living creatures also exist. And litho means what? Upper at the earth, and then sphere means what is the shape of the earth. So we saw the different things which are existent on this lithosphere. So we can see to it that lithosphere is the base of existence of all living creatures. So students, watch the video carefully and go through page number 59, the first topic of lithosphere in detail. Okay, students?